Hello everyone, and we are back with another day of stitch for the sew along. I added some bullion knots and some pistol stitches along here, and I didn't add anything else really up in the top area. I had a little bit of shiny silvery thread, but we can't go anywhere without a little bit of shiny silvery. So on that note, I've got, you probably can't see it, but I've got a bit of metallic thread, and I quite like this for beading because I like to, you can, if you see it, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to pop in some beads, and I don't know where at the minute. I don't know whether I'll put any up in the top. Might put a few white ones up there. We'll see. But I'm going to start down here and start adding some of these little ones that I thought looked like a little bit like pebbles. So to that I'm going to add some in and amongst my stitching. Ooh, is that? I'm just going to put a couple of stop stitches in. Ooh, we're bouncing around. Try not to bounce around too much, beads. Try not to go through my stitches that I've already done, especially the bullion knots. Don't want to be. So I'm using a metallic thread, and I'm using a beading needle, and the reason I use a beading needle is because it will actually go through any bead, seed bead usually. Well, the ones I've got, let me just get what I have John James needles, size 10s, and I find that they're the very best. I've tried all kinds over the years, and I just keep on going back to them. I love them. When you're beading, I'm not at this minute. Make sure that you're laying your bead flat in the direction you want it before you put your stitch down. Otherwise you end up with the hole facing up rather than the bead side. And we don't want that. And I probably had way too many beads for some people, but as I always say, it's me, my thing, I'll do me. It's been snowing today here, not a lot, probably about a centimetre, half an inch, something like that. But of course, in true British style, everybody panics. So, but I just popped out this morning and then just came back, and I've done nothing really, just had a little bit of a tidy round. Just, where am I going with that? We're going back here. I'll try and nestle these in so they look a little bit like boulders. But I have got these. I'm going to put one in somewhere. Ooh. These are all very well and good until I can't get them open, and then they all fly off like a little tiger eye type bead. So I'm going to put that in. I'm going to put you in up here. Up there. When I get up there, I'm not gonna do it just yet because I don't want to stretch my thread too far along. Got all sorts. These are the ones, if you watch the haul that Heather and I went to, and she'd done we bought a load of beads off a guy that was closing down, so she had the task of sorting them all out, because that's her thing, her OCD, I would say. Needs it all to be sectioned and sorted out, which is fine. I'm not so bothered. I quite like it. I quite like the idea of a bit of a mix up, and I'm going to put some greens in. Just try not to bash them up too much. I've got a little beading mat, but when I've got this up here, it's a nightmare because I can't see what I'm doing. I'm just going to tip them out. Just put a few up here. Where's my needle? There you are. Don't go out buying specially. I tend to buy beads when I see them, because I get in a bead shop and my head goes to mush. I have to buy everything, so I have lots and lots that I don't need. Stick that in. But I also love to break up jewellery that I've come across in charity shops. I usually get some really lovely, lots and lots of these are all from charity shop beads, jewellery finds, because you'll get some pretty unusual bits for next to nothing. And I would suggest sort of having a little rummage in your local charity shop, if that's, or your thrift store. One thing I haven't done is sort of put a stop stitch in. Try and put yourself a stop stitch in every now and then, because if you don't and it unravels, you get all your beads will come off in one. If you can just put a couple of little stitches in that stop that happening, especially if you're using metallic thread, you'll either see it if you've got big stitches, or you won't. It's one of them, you know. But just have a quick slurp of my tea. So I'm just going to keep on going. Put you in. So I'm just going to make a little note on the back of this. For the back, I'm actually going to draw myself another heart on that piece of fabric that I've got. I'm going to do myself another heart, and Reggie, come on. And I've decided that I'm going to embroider something on it, just like a bit of a quote or something. I was looking at, I think I was discussing it yesterday, something about something from D.H. Lawrence, but he's quite sweary. Some of his, not all of it, you know, and he likes the F word a lot. So I don't know whether I can narrow that down to something a little bit more something a bit more clean, probably something from the rainbow or something like that. Have a little look. But then I just thought, well, you know, I could just do it right in absolutely anything. Anything that means something to you. So that's what, so I just thought I'll give you the heads up and prepare yourself for that. I don't know what day I'm on. I can't even remember the days until I send them over to be edited. Just go backwards and forwards. I feel like I want a bit of gold in there. So yes, I will be doing that at some point, so just a little heads up. Hope you can see what I'm doing. It tends to get a little bit, I try not to get my hand up because it goes blurry, and I've tried all sorts of cameras, and I've tried my DSLR camera. This is my webcam, and it doesn't matter what I'm using, they all seem to want to have a little blurry moment because they're trying to focus, because obviously it's quite close work, isn't it? I'm tucking these beads in quite tightly. If you've got bigger beads, or you're not going to put beads in at all, you might want to space them out a bit. Where did I put that one? We're here. We're going in there. I feel like the little fairies in this garden are going to be able to hide in that, under that boulder. And to that I'm going to put a little flowery bit for them. Oops, come on. Oh, there we go. There we are, fairies. You've got a little flower. I'll try and flatten it down a bit. I don't know what I've done with my... Excuse that, excuse me. I maybe should have just put, just come up on the other side and tipping it down. And then I've seen a nice pretty greens over here. I think I've said before, I don't really have a rhyme or reason of what kind of I'm doing next. It never, I don't really have it in my head. So I know, I'm sorry if I'm sort of not making a clear process, but this is why what slow stitch is to me. It's just to sit down, pick up a needle and thread and some fabric and start stitching. And it could be any old meanderings of stitch. I feel like that it's got these little bits of, I'm going to put some stitches in, some little tiny cross stitches in with this. I know I've been naughty, aren't I, and I've changed my mind about the threads, but I just felt like I needed to. And if I put some little cross stitches in, they look a bit like fairy wings glinting So Reggie's in trouble by the sounds of it. Oh, excuse me, glugging away at my tea. I think I sound like a hungry drain. Oh, there's too much rumbling now. If you are, this is a metallic from Wonderful. I don't know the colour of it, but it's a sample that they've kindly sent me, and I like a metallic thread for beading, and it's hard to find something that you actually can work with for a while, and this seems to be holding up quite well, because what happens with metallic thread is it starts to disintegrate rather quickly. I want to put this thread beads in there, and I'm just going to change my thread because obviously I'm getting down to the bitter end as per usual. I don't know, you know, I was thinking on my recordings and wondering if they're a bit too long, if I waffle on too long, but you'll have to let me know in the comments. Let me know what's, you know, if you think they are too long, but some people love a long video. So there's people have this attention span of not a lot. I just think about the kids at school when I was teaching, sort of half an hour, and they'd be switching off. But whether that's because they were teenagers, don't know. I think we seem to have a bit more patience, don't we? And also, if it's something you really love, you'll watch. It's like reading a book, isn't it? I could read a book all day and not be fed up of it. So it's just that, not, you know, not knowing. And also it's a background thing. Right, let's get you out of the way. I'm just going to feel like I want to come in here with some, but I was looking, oh, that's come through. I didn't put a big enough knot in. I was looking to see what I've got in the department of these reds, and I didn't, did I? I won't get up and start rummaging, because as one lady said to me, just get on with it. Oh dear, not in a horrible way. I think she just wanted me to sort of get on with it. I found a little. Let's get some of these going. Let's have some of you. Just move them out of the way so I don't get them mixed. Well, it don't matter if I get them mixed up. I'll just put them in the bead soup. Which I was looking to see if I got any. I have. I might have some reds in there. Might. Have a look. I'll have a look in a minute. Off camera. I'll just put some white in for now. Lid. There. Oh, better put the lid back on that as well, because they'll be all over the floor if Gertrude comes. Because she does like to jump on these. What she'll do is she'll bounce down and everything goes bing and all over the floor. It's got a bit of blue in it. I mean, as I say, you can put as many in as you like. You don't have to put any in. I saw somebody doing their version on, she popped a Facebook picture on, and it looked really stunning. Purples, deep purples, gorgeous, gorgeous colours. I'm trying to sort of nestle in with some things. That's up you and you. Sometimes make a little bead kebab. I've got 3 on. And definitely lay your thread flat. Try and go under there. I did get bugle beads out, so let's just have a quick. Where are they? They're just here. If you did my other C one, you'll have seen me put bugle beads on. I've got red. I'm going to move that one out of the way. My thread's back over there. Where are you? And I'm going to come in underneath that with the bead, and then with another bead on top, and go back down that bugle bead and back down where you came up, and it just gives a bit of height, if you like, just texture. Not going with a bit of orange. And of course, the more you put on, the higher it gets. Oh, have I made a knot? Half. You might not have any rhyme or reason to these beads. Don't worry about it. I'm not making a picture of, you know, I'm not making a photograph. I'm making a picture in my head that's just fantastical. Hence the fairies. Where are you? Are you there? Try not to go too many strands. Just put some plain beads in. So you get what I'm up to, and I'm just going to keep on adding beads where I fancy. I've got a bit of a loop going on there in my metallic thread, but don't mind. We've not pulled it tight enough. Another little fairy. Let me stand up and have a quick look. Oops. Oh yeah. So I'm not coming over here. Lay a couple in. And I've got some different coloured ones. A bit quiet, sorry. It's hard to keep the pace. Normally I don't run out of things to say. I think it's a concentration. I did find these, but I think they're too big. They're not what I want. I don't know. Don't think so. Don't think they're going to go in. But we'll come back in with some of that. I think slow stitching kind of opens up your mind to other possibilities rather than just what you think it should be looking like, because you can sort of go off on your little merry way with it. Can't you? And not be thinking, not be overthinking it. Well, I do anyway. I try to, especially when I'm by myself and I'm not with you guys, I sort of don't talk and I start, it doesn't sort of get thought about. I do quite like these little dull brown beads. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Don't worry if you cover up your stitches. I might come in with some more anyway. But try not to go over the edge of your line, which I tend to do. But it'll make it difficult when you're stitching it up, that's all. You might not be stitching yours up, you might be just leaving it as a picture. Ooh. But I think if you just put in these little seed beads in, it's nice to dot them in rather than make a big patch. But that is just my own thing. It doesn't have to be, it's not set in stone. Let's pull some of these up. That one's That's nice. Sort of adds an interest rather than a you know, you get a little, you think, oh, you get a little glimmer of what it is. Tucked in amongst your textures. I mean, I suppose there's argument's sakes that beading's not slow stitching, but what's slow stitching by definition is just slow stitching. So right, I am going to finish this video here. I'm off to my friends for an evening of chit chat. Had a friend once say to me, "Oh, I've never heard of the word chit chat before until I met you," but it's an old kind of little saying, and it's used an awful lot in novels by the like your Thomas Hardys of the world and George Eliot's. It's that era, and I think that's probably where I picked it up back in my childhood, when I would not be made to read them, but when I used to read, because I was a prolific reader. My the head teacher in my primary school gave me a couple of classic novels to read and said that that would slow me down because the language would be different and I'd have to kind of learn oldie worldy language to be able to understand it. But little did he know, it didn't slow me down. It just made me more prolific, because I then had a thirst for classic novels, which I still love to this day. Right, there we go. Stop there, Rachel. And I'm going to come up here and just add a few in, but as I always say, I won't bore you to death with that, because things start happening as soon as I get on the camera, get videoing or whatever. I get Reggie and Gertrude want attention, somebody knocks at the door, somebody, you know, always wants to phone me or text me, or I don't get a single text all day, and then the minute I get I start hit record, ho ho, here we go. They all come flooding in. Oh dear. Right, okay, so as usual, if you've enjoyed this video, please do give it a thumbs up, and if you're new and you've enjoyed it, I'd love you to subscribe. I'm just past the 500 mark at the moment, which to me is phenomenal because I've only been doing it since the beginning of January, and it's quite amazing, you know, and I am thankful for everybody that is subscribing. So happy stitching everybody, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye bye.